In the late 1960s, in the dusty streets of Houston, three young musicians came together to form a band. This wasn't any ordinary band, mind you. This was the beginning of something extraordinary, a rock and roll phenomenon that would reverberate through the ages. This was the birth of ZZ Top. At the heart of it all were three unique individuals, each bringing their own flair to the mix. Billy Gibbons, a guitarist with a knack for blistering solos and a voice that could make the heavens weep, was the first piece of the puzzle. He was already making waves in the Texas music scene with his band, The Moving Sidewalks. But it was the addition of two more talents that truly set the stage for greatness. Enter Dusty Hill, a bassist with a voice as smooth as whiskey and a groove as deep as the Grand Canyon. Dusty had been playing in local bands with his brother Rocky since their teens, honing his skills and waiting for the right opportunity to come along. When he met Billy, he knew he had found it. And then there was Frank Beard, the man behind the drums. Frank had a rhythm that could make your heart skip a beat and a knack for holding it all together. He might not have had a beard like his bandmates, but he had a rock-solid beat that was just as iconic. Together, this trio of musicians began to create a sound that was uniquely their own, a blend of blues and rock that was as Texan as the Lone Star itself. They played in grimy bars and small venues, perfecting their craft and building a loyal following, and as their beards grew, so did their reputation. In the early days, success wasn't immediate. There were struggles, there were setbacks, but through it all, the band held steadfast to their vision. They knew they had something special, and they were determined to share it with the world. Guitarist and vocalist Billy Gibbons, bassist and vocalist Dusty Hill, and drummer Frank Beard laid the foundation for what would soon become ZZ Top. Little did they know then, they were on the path to becoming sharp-dressed legends of rock and roll. As ZZ Top evolved, so did their music and image. This band of Texan troubadours started off playing raw, gritty blues rock, infused with a southern charm that was as irresistible as a plate of barbecued ribs on a hot summer's day. But as the 70s rolled on, the band began to diversify their sound, experimenting with new styles and trends, while still remaining true to their bluesy roots. This evolution truly took flight with the release of their third album, Tres Hombre. This record showcased a more polished, radio-friendly sound, yet it still retained the band's signature blues rock grit. Tracks like La Grange and Jesus Just Left Chicago became instant classics, blending hard-hitting riffs with catchy hooks and infectious rhythms. But it was with their eighth studio album, Eliminator, that ZZ Top truly broke the mold. This album saw the band delve into the world of synthesizers and drum machines, embracing the sounds of the emerging 80s pop scene. Yet, despite these new elements, the band's blues rock foundation remained intact. Songs like Sharp-Dressed Man and Legs showcased this new approach, featuring slick production, catchy pop hooks, and a unique blend of rock and blues. Throughout this period of evolution, ZZ Top never lost sight of who they were. They were still the same three guys from Texas playing the music they loved. Their image, like their music, also evolved over time. They embraced their Texan roots, often dressing in cowboy hats and boots, and their beards became a defining feature of the band. In the end, what set ZZ Top apart was their ability to evolve while staying true to their roots. They were never afraid to experiment with new sounds and styles, yet they always maintained their distinct identity. They were a band that could blend rock, pop, and blues in a way that was uniquely their own. The band refined their signature blues rock sound while embracing a unique blend of rock, pop, and a dash of Texan swagger. This evolution played a crucial role in shaping the ZZ Top that we know and love today. One of the most distinctive features of ZZ Top was their iconic beards. The illustrious face fuzz of Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill became as famous as their foot-tapping rock anthems. These beards were not born out of a fashion statement, but rather a hiatus. When the band took a break in the late 70s, the two returned to find each other sporting these magnificent manes. They decided to keep them, and the rest is history. Now let's talk about the irony that is as thick as these beards. The man named Beard, drummer Frank Beard, is the only member who chose to remain clean-shaven. That's right, the beard without a beard. In a band known for its beards, this contrast added an extra layer of intrigue to their image. The story behind the beards and how they became symbols of ZZ Top is a tale in itself. ZZ Top's worldwide success took them to new heights. As their sound matured, so did their popularity. They began to churn out hits that resonated with fans across the globe. Their music was a unique blend of bluesy rock with a dash of pop, and it was this unique sound that catapulted them to international fame. In the early 80s, their album Eliminator proved to be a game changer. It was a commercial smash hit, selling millions of copies worldwide. The album produced a string of chart-topping singles that turned ZZ Top into a household name. Songs like Gimme All Your Lovin' and Sharp Dressed Man became anthems of the decade, their infectious rhythms and catchy hooks resonating with fans and critics alike. Their music videos were a sensation too, with their distinctive beards, flashy cars, and sharp suits becoming part of the band's signature look. Their videos were a staple of the early MTV era, further cementing their place in pop culture. They toured extensively, playing to packed stadiums around the world. Their live performances were legendary, filled with energy, humor, and of course fantastic music. They had a knack for connecting with their audience, their charismatic stage presence and authentic Texan charm winning over fans wherever they went. Their success wasn't just confined to the 80s though. They continued to produce hit albums and tour throughout the 90s and into the new millennium. They've sold millions of records worldwide, and their music continues to inspire and entertain fans to this day. Their rise to fame wasn't an overnight sensation, it was the result of years of hard work, dedication, and a deep love of music. They remained true to their roots, never straying far from the bluesy rock sound that they fell in love with as young musicians in Texas. They were at the forefront of the music scene in the 1980s. In recognition of their contributions to music and their enduring legacy, ZZ Top was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004. This was a momentous occasion for the band, marking their place among the greats. This band from Texas, with their long beards, bluesy rock sound, and sunglasses, had truly made it. They were no longer just a band, but a symbol of rock and roll itself. Their induction was not just a celebration of their music, but a recognition of the impact they've had on the industry. ZZ Top didn't just play music, they lived it. From the dusty roads of Texas to the bright lights of the world's biggest stages, they carried with them a sound that was uniquely their own. But their legacy goes beyond their induction. ZZ Top's influence can be heard in the music of countless bands that followed them. From the bluesy rock of the Black Keys to the southern rock of Kings of Leon, the echoes of ZZ Top's sound can be heard. Even today, over 2 decades after their induction, new bands are still being inspired by their music. Their influence also extends to the music industry itself. They showed that a band could maintain its roots and still be commercially successful. They embraced their Texas heritage, their love for blues and rock, and turned it into a sound that resonated with millions. And let's not forget the beards. ZZ Top made it cool to rock a beard long before it became a trend. They showed that you could be yourself, no matter how unconventional, and still make it big. Their beards became a part of their identity, a symbol of their uniqueness, and a testament to their commitment to being true to who they are. As we look back on their career, it's clear that ZZ Top wasn't just a band. They were pioneers, trailblazers, and above all, they were themselves. They've left an indelible mark on the world of rock and roll, and their music continues to inspire and entertain. Their influence on rock and blues music continues to be felt to this day.